Jacqueline with Nickel and Dime Decor. Thank you for joining me, and today we're going to be finishing talking about our little purple and pink baby quilt. The one that we don't have a pattern for, and I've just called it a patchwork. And remember, we cut out 6.5, 5.5, 4.5, and 3.5 square. And just a variety of every purple and pink I could come up with. And I had tons left over. And I'm making 9 patches for the back. So, I'll put the camera down in just a second. Now, I turned them every which way I could turn them. Remember how by alternating the rows, you'll have to go back and look at the previous videos. But alternating the rows, I didn't want any intersecting seams, anything to have to match. So I have turned it about every which way I can, and I still have some. There's one over there and one right there, maybe more. But that's the way it is. I kind of am done with worrying about that. It doesn't matter a hill of beans, so I'm just not going to worry about it. I do have, I think, my patterns scattered real well, and I don't see any of them that are next to each other. They might be close in proximity, but they're not just butting with each other. So I've tried to do the best I can with that. That's just really a hit and miss, because you just can't be perfect. And that's what I'm learning in life, we just can't be perfect. Okay. Now let me put this camera down and see if you can get the drift of what we're looking at. I have all of these sewn across, but that's it. I don't have anything else done. My next step is to press. And I'm going to start at the bottom, and I'm going to press to the right or left. And the next row, I will do the opposite. And I will alternate. And that way, it will just lay better, pin better. I'm not having to match seams. It's not necessary. But I'm gonna do that. And then I can sew my rows this way together. Now, I'm gonna start from one side, and then on the other side, if my rows are not even, which sometimes my 1/4 inch seams, I noticed, were not just perfectly together, the same size. So if I don't match, when I get to the end of the rows, I'm going to trim like 36 inches, then I will just trim. I'm not having to worry about anything fitting, because there's nothing to match, nothing to have to fit. So I will start and put them together, and then on the other end, if I need to adjust, I will cut my squares and square everything up. Now, I have a good balance of color, I think, in my patterns, my fabrics. And I do have, I didn't want the seams to match, go across from each other. That happened a couple of times. I've switched this out, in and out, 6 times. And it's just going to have to be the way it's going to have to be. Because I've messed with it long enough. And I was going to maybe add a row of rickrack a pretty little pink or something every once in a while. But I think that's too much, really. It's so busy that I just don't think I want to add anything else to it. And if the name is available before I give it to them, then I will embroider the name and date of birth, and that'll be it. So this is a Patchwork Little Baby Girl Quilt is coming along. If you've been working on it and you notice that your rows don't look like they're going to be even at the end, you just don't worry about it. And if you need, like I had to do on a couple of rows, and I don't know why. That's the way I laid it out on the bed, I guess. But I had to switch an end piece and put a bigger piece or a smaller piece to have them all fit relatively, as best you can tell without it being pressed. But when you get that down there to the end and you're through putting all this together and it's a curvy mess, do not worry about it. Just trim it even. If you want, I don't have a clue. It looks like this is going to be about a 42 by maybe 36, 37, 38. So if it's 38 across, I will trim it evenly 38 inches down. There's just no sweat to this. You just needn't stew over it. Okay, I'm going to start pressing. And like I say, I'm going to alternate. You're not matching seams, so I really don't know why I want to do that. But I just thought it might lay a little better if I did. I don't know. And then I will sew all of these pieces together and the top is finished. And we'll have a much better look at it, how it looks holding it up. Well, all right. I will be back in this video when I get this sewn together, when I get it pressed and get it sewn together. Well, hi there. This is Jacqueline with Nickel and Dime Decor, and we're back to our pinks and purple baby quilt with no pattern quilt. And I wanted to show you, I'll put the camera down in a second. The top is pieced together, but it's not squared up. It's not even. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you that, okay? And it's when I told you when we sewed it together, I knew that my ends would not be even. So that's what we're going to fix. And I've got it all laid out. So let me put it down for you. Well, you're not going to be able to see very well. First thing I'm going to do is this side. And I'm going to line it up on my cutting mat. You're not going to be able to see all of it. And I'm going to line up the shortest side there. And then line up this way, because I want to get this as square as I can. Okay, that's even up there. And now I'm going to, I think I can trim right on that line, and I'll be good and straight. We're just straightening our quilt is all we're doing. So I'm going to put it on my number 3 line here, and number 3 here. I mean, we're just shaving off a hair's breadth, but it has to be done. I know that little bit doesn't seem to make that much difference, but it does. When you fold it, you want it to be straight. Okay, we got that done. Now, let's turn it. I wonder if I can do this like this, and my blade is not real good, but I am going to try to cut through all this. I know it's even over here. It's good to go. So now, let's see where our smallest line is. Well, that's our smallest pieces. Goodness. I'm going to have to cut quite a bit off. Let's see. I want this to be on. Now straighten this back up and get it even. And I'm going to have to trim to the 1/2 inch mark. Boy, that's going to be cutting a lot off, isn't it? Let's see. No, I don't have to go quite that far. Maybe on my 1/4 inch line. Let's try that. Okay. 1/4 inch and 1/4 inch. Now, like I say, I don't know that I can do this. I'm going to have to put some muscle in it. And I'll have to go over it again. And again. If I had a decent blade, we could have done it, but I didn't have one. Okay, now that was quite a bit that I took off. But it's even, and the other side is even, and so now it's this side we have to take care of. And then our little quilt is squared up. Now get it straight up here with your line all the way across, even as you can do. Put it on your line. And I can't go any different than that. That's just what I have to do. Okay, there. Now, I'll show you the beautiful little quilt. I had a lady come over the other day and she said, that's rather odd for a baby quilt. And I really didn't know what she meant by that, but that's okay. I think it's just beautiful for a baby quilt. You stand up so you can get, it's just a really good size. Let's see what it is. Let's just measure it. I should have measured it when I had it folded up. y'all just see what size this is. This is a 36, and we're going to say a half. 36 and a half by 42. 36 and a half by 42. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, like I said, no border. You can put a border. That's sure okay. And it would be beautiful, but I choose not to. It's so busy that I'm just going to go with it like it is. I am going to try to find, remember I showed you my 9 patches that I'm going to put on the back. And I have several purples. And I'm going to see which one blends the best and then make up a back. And that'll be our next episode. I'll have the back on it. And then we'll decide how to quilt it. It's nice and squared up and nice and even. Thank you so much for watching Nickel and Dime. And I haven't ever told you, but I am on Facebook. And I do live Facebook posts. So please tune in to Nickel and Dime Decor there. I have an Etsy shop, Nickel and Dime Decor. And I will just, let's see what else. Well, I have a blog, but I'm not very faithful with my blog. But I'm everywhere, so try to find me, okay? And follow me on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. Have a wonderful day. God bless you.